In order to change the world, you must also change how you see the world. If you're someone that wants to get involved but you don't know where to start, stay tuned. And if you want to keep learning and talking about the way your environment influences you and how to navigate those influences, go ahead and like this video, subscribe, and hit the little notification bell. What is up, all you beautiful people? Thank you for joining me again. So this video is called Flourish, where you are planted. What that means is wherever you are planted, utilize the resources around you to nourish your growth. Sometimes we feel like we have to move in order to grow, and oftentimes it is an excellent experience to get out of that comfortability that you're used to. But if you don't have the resources to move, if you have to take care of your family, if you just have something that is tying you down to where you live, that is okay. You do not have to feel bad for growing up and staying in your hometown. That's actually very beautiful. El Paso, Texas is my hometown, but I want to know, what are some challenges you face in your hometown? Whether that's, so in El Paso, we're actually a border city and we get a lot of negative rhetoric for being a border city. But I want to know what challenges you face in your hometown. Please leave it in the comments below. And if you want, we can also start this conversation on my Instagram. Follow me. It will be right up above if you want to go ahead and follow me at Youngblood Boss. So let's talk about it. As the old saying goes, in order to change the world, you must first change yourself. So self-care and self-love has been a huge topic of discussion recently for a great reason. Of course, I think we live in a society that's based off of consumerism and having to go out there and be a go-getter and taking care of your family, and then you get left with not being able to take care of yourself, and that is very important. Self-care includes making sure you're getting the right nutrients in your body, you're drinking a lot of water, you're taking care of your skin, you're working out, you're doing all those sorts of things. But it also includes making sure you surround yourself with things that inspire you. I cannot stress how important it is to surround yourself with things that bring you ideas, with things that expand your knowledge, with things that change your perspective. Because again, in order to change the world, you have to change the way you see the world. So the more things that you learn, the more you start getting these crazy epiphanies, and you start peeling back these layers of what you thought you knew about the world. So self-care also includes getting that knowledge, surrounding yourself with good people. And people also means the stuff that's on your social media feed, the stuff that you watch on Netflix, on TV, anything that has a human in it. Make sure it's someone that is nourishing your mind, body, and soul. It just all encompasses having people in your life that inspire you, that support you, that are cheering you on, because that's just the best way to get on with life. One of my inspirations, Oprah. I freaking love Oprah, but I remember in one of her talks, she says that people would say she's full of herself. And her answer was, "I am so full of myself, my cup runneth over, and into everybody that I interact with." And so when you practice this self-love, you love yourself so much, you want to share it with other people. And that's how you build incredible connections, and that's how you make everlasting change. That brings me to the point of, why is community important? So in this consumeristic, individualistic society, we start to feel very lonely. And with all the stuff that is getting played on the news, it starts to feel very scary. When we think about Darwinism, a lot of the times, the top thing people say is survival of the fittest. It's one for all and none for the rest. And it's really interesting that people think that way. I like to argue the fact, and Darwin actually argued this fact, and it's not well mentioned, that yes, there is survival of the fittest, but there's also cooperation and compassion, because without it, we would all be dead, literally. If your family did not take care of you and nurture you, have compassion for you, and cooperate with you, you wouldn't be alive. So of course, be grateful for them, but also remember that the reason community is important is because they are there to support you. They're there to cooperate with you. They're there to collaborate with you. It's not always about competition. Competition is actually getting us in a very sticky place now in 2019. We're almost in 2020. So let's start building on collaborations. Let's start building on compassion, because we know how incredibly scary things can be. If you feel like you don't have anybody there that's supporting you, that wants to know how you're doing, then it's gonna be very hard to get out there and get involved in your community. Which brings me to the third point, and tying it all together, what are the different ways you can get involved while also practicing self-care? So different ways you can get involved. The first thing I want you to do is to actually look up wherever you live and just look up things to do. Things to do in El Paso, things to do in Dallas, things to do in Boston. When you find something that you think you would be interested in, find a friend to go with you so you guys can share that experience. And I think that starts creating a snowball effect. Once you go out to that first event, you start networking with people. You might meet a very awesome person there and they'll invite you to the next thing. And so getting involved in your community means just going out there and supporting people the way you want to be supported. So go to those art shows, go to the opera, go to orchestras, go to the punk rock band, go to the flea market, go to anything in your community and try to interact with someone. And when you tie in your self-care practices, because I know you want to push yourself to do stuff, and sometimes that means you put yourself on the back burner. So get involved, but also make sure you're practicing self-care. Make sure you're surrounding yourself with those good people. Make sure you're surrounding yourself with things that are inspiring you. Make sure you are gaining all the knowledge that's out there, because once you do that, it's going to change the way you see the world, and slowly you will make an impact in the world. And it is beautiful once you start realizing that this world is an incredible place, and the place that you live in is incredible. The people that you're surrounded with is incredible, and bottom line, all we're trying to do is survive and thrive. So to wrap it all up, get out there in your community, get involved, meet new people, surround yourself with incredible people, because inside, I promise you, it feels so liberating and you don't feel lonely anymore, and that's where change starts to happen. If you guys got anything out of this video, please comment below. If you like, follow my Instagram, and please make sure to like and subscribe for future videos, because I'm going to continue talking about ways our environment influences us and how we can navigate those influences to become our highest and truest self, because who doesn't want that? Thank you so much if you watched this video, and as always, keep flourishing.